All right. Well, a little bit of a tiny background. I've been a massage therapist and body worker for over 11 years. So I usually work one-on-one with my clients to see what's going on in the body. So we're just going to do a full spectrum of like what's going on in the body today with certain muscles, whether it's from sitting at a computer, driving, stressful life. We're going to go over things with how to help yourself with breathing, anxiety, certain things that may hold you back at home or with work. And then we're going to go over the muscles, the nervous system, and we're going to finish it up with a little bit of meridian work, just to cover a lot. So we're just going to have fun and play today. That's all we're going to do. So as long as Ryan's cool with us using his walls.
Go ahead.
Is that good? Okay, awesome. So all you're going to do right now is we're just going to settle in from having lunch a little bit, and we're going to do a little bit of muscle rolling so we can get a little bit deeper into breathing and everything and let those tacos settle. All right, so I have trigger point balls that we'll be using today, and these are tennis balls and just high bounce balls, but they have the density that you need to work your muscles. So if you guys want to come up, just grab one. If you want, you can also try one out. You can grab two if you want to, a tennis or a high bounce.
Go ahead.
Sweet. I know, I heard. It's like sore from yesterday. I was like, all right.
Look, I got pink. Right.
Hey, me too.
And at any time if you're like, I'm not really digging this one, let me pick out something different. The tennis ball does have a little bit more give than the high density because it's going to give a little bit, but it's going to give back. But this one will actually take out the pressure. You have to take these one. I'm just going to leave it over here, but you can trade them out at any time if you want to. All right. So the biggest muscle that seems to be, or the biggest area that bothers a lot is in between your shoulder blades because we're always doing this. I was just talking to my dad today about it, and I was like, they now have studies where babies are being born with bone spurs underneath their neck because the parents already have bone spurs from playing on the desk or their computer. There's things like this, and I'm like, things are changing, genetics are changing just from our posture and everyday use. So we're just going to do a little bit of rolling today just to settle those muscles and see if you can get that posture right, because I'm bad about looking out and I already see like how everybody stands, and they'll stay like this or you stand like this, and it's just out of movement. Like you're stuck. Your tissues are stuck, so we're going to unstick them today. So we're going to work in between the shoulder blades. All you need is a wall. I'm going to show you how to do it, and then you're going to breathe and do it yourself because you have to like practice it. It's easy to do. So you're going to find a wall, and you're going to just stand first with your back all the way against it so you can get comfortable for a second and see if you feel the tightness already in between your shoulder blades. Then you're just going to back up, and you're going to take your opposite hand and place the ball in between your shoulder blade and your spine, because you have about a 2-inch width right there, and that's where you want the ball to go, not on the shoulder blade because it will hurt, but between the shoulder blade and your spine. And you want it to go like right in the middle. So you go to the wall, place that ball there, go ahead and press the back against it, because if not, your ball's going to shoot that way. And all you're going to do is you're going to let it settle for a second and breathe. So go do that now. Go.
Gotta make some space over here.
Okay. So I want you to also pay attention to how your posture is right now. Because also if it starts hurting, you'll do this. Like you do with the computer already, and we don't want that. So you're going to think about tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets a little bit. It's going to give you your natural posture of what you're supposed to have. Take your shoulders away from your ears. That's even better. There we go. And then keep rolling up and down. And see if you find a spot, and you will. You'll find that one spot that's like gotcha spot, and it's like, ugh. And just hang out there and breathe into that space. And then, of course, what's great for one side, you just switch and do it on the other side. And you'll find some points. There's always trigger points in between, especially up near the top where the corner of your shoulder blade is completely. There's always a really good trigger point there. We always have. And it's good just to let that rest and breathe into it for like 30 seconds and see if that releases. Great. Just make sure you switch sides, and you don't even have to keep rolling up and down. You can just place it there and breathe and hold. Place it at a different spot, breathe and hold if you do not want to move your knees. The next spot we're going to do is a little bit more detailed. It's called the supraspinatus muscle. It's really long. We're not even worried about it. I want to show you where it's at. Oh, can I use it first?
Yep.
Okay, so on the top of your top of the shoulder blade, it's got its own little spine groove right here. And sits on top of it is a muscle. And all it does, you lift your arm out to the side, it lifts your arm out to the side and it helps you rotate. And a lot of times they'll be like, oh, you have a rotator cuff injury. And there is muscles that go all together with the rotator cuff, but sometimes this gets sticky. Because we just do certain things throughout the day that gets those tissues super sticky. And if you can release that, you can get better range of motion in your arm. Any arm movement this way. So I'm going to show you how to use that on the wall, and it's only on the top of the shoulder. This gets a little crazy because you're not going to be able to lean straight against it, so you're going to turn your body at a 45-degree angle. Place that ball into the top of the shoulder there, and if you want to change and get like a tennis ball just because of the paint on the wall, you can switch. There's plenty of tennis balls over there. And all you're going to do is you're going to set into it, and you can actually stay here, lift your arm out to the side, and just lift your arm up and down, and you're going to feel it. You're going to be like, oh yeah, that is tender. And you can move that ball around, so try that out. There we go. All right, we're going to work the low back. Right across the low back here is called your gluteus medius muscle. It connects in your low back and it goes across. And a lot of times if you have restless leg syndrome, or if you feel when you like sit down, you feel like you're wearing a really tight shirt, like something's really tight and you only can get that motion, you're like, I don't hurt, I just can't bend any further than this. This is usually that muscle that sticks and you're like, I just really wish I could touch my toes, I just can't touch my toes. And then this will help you get a little bit more of that fascia, like the surrounding tissues there, to release a little bit better. So restless legs, even some say it's sciatica, and this does mimic sciatica. So if you get shooting pain, especially in your glutes or like in your butt, and you're always getting a shooting pain or dull ache there, this will help relieve that pressure, if not almost automatically when you do it. So you do not want to press here. This is just like, this is your tailbone in your sacrum, but you'll want to go out 2 inches. Just like right in the middle. You're going to place the ball there. And remember to check your pressure, like this is cool, this is deeper. So check your pressure on that. This is a lot deeper if you move your feet out. And if you don't even want to roll it and you feel it, just be like, and breathe. Breathe. Also check your posture and make sure your shoulders are back. So while you're here, you can roll back and forth. And you're going to feel some like, oh my God, that feels so bad spots. Like hold it and roll it. Sorry,
She's warming it up for you.
Yeah.
and this is also great if you're having like a really big trip. Like if you're going for like an hour or two, or if you're doing like a 9-hour drive, you're driving all the way back to Florida. This is awesome to put into the seat just to press. Just to press. Just to press if you feel it. So yes, I have like a whole fan. Be like, yo, where's your tennis ball? Just to work it out. And it also comes to play too, if you're just at home laying around, you can do this laying on the floor, but you would want to use a towel. Because same thing with the wall, you lay the ball down and it just, if you have a wood floor, unless you got carpet, you can do the same thing laying on the floor. And if you need to intensify these, you can use the floor and move away from the wall and try it and see how it works for you. But you'll just place the ball underneath you. All you do is you lay down, put one foot down the same side, lift your hip, place the ball there, let it sit. And all you gotta do is just use that pressure of the foot that's down to roll it. So if you wanna try it laying on the floor, you can, or if it's good on the wall, you're good there too. But make sure you switch sides. Yeah. And definitely, if you have an issue even just sitting down, because like at your desk, have someone, if you work at a desk or computer or anything at home, have someone take a picture of you when you don't even know it. Because this is what it looks like. After a few hours, you're like this. Like really, really bad. And you don't even know your posture looks like this until you take a picture. So like all of this is pulling. These muscles shorten when you're like this. These muscles get elongated and they don't have time to catch up. So working them out can get your fibers back in place. So we're gonna work back up the spine one more time. This time you got the muscles that run on the side of your spine and they go all the way down on both sides. This is called your erector spinae muscle. It connects on your back. Sorry, Bill. You give me a good example all day. They go down like they're small. They go down on both sides of your back. And sometimes you can feel it. You may feel it with the ball in a second. It feels like you're almost playing a banjo here when you start rolling. Because it will roll if you're super tight. So all you're gonna do is the same thing. Place that ball in the middle. Sorry, I made you walk in. Place that ball in the middle. Find your pressure point because you're gonna know like the pressure is good here, but on this one I need to be in shorter because this hurts already. Or I can bring out my feet a little bit more. And then from here you're just gonna roll the ball up and down. Just bend your knees. Or hold it. If it's easier to move that ball and just press, that's one. I'm gonna roll.
Double rest.
Also remember, if you want to try this on the floor, you can also try this on the floor. You can roll around on the floor, place it underneath, move your body. Same thing you do on the wall, you can do on the floor. Also, if you're at home and you do this on the floor and it's too much, place a towel. Fold it in half, put the towel on top of the ball, lay down on it. You can roll it around that way too. You can do this at any time. This is really great to have in your office or in the car. You can throw one of these in your bag. I love rolling or working out the muscles after you warmed up. Like after you've done like a workout, you're sweating, anything like that, you've been outside for a while because your muscle tissues melt a little bit more because they go together like this. And when they're super sticky, they connect. But when they're really hot and then you roll them, you get the bigger benefit of the muscles staying relaxed. So place the balls wherever you want to because we're going to go into something a little bit different. So there was so much information that we can share on alternative healing, but we could be here forever, like all year, like going over stuff. So I picked certain things that you can incorporate, certain things that you may not have ever done before, so that way you have something new to take home and implement. So everything we do today, you can include in your business, in your practice, with your family. You just take it wherever you go. It's like a cool toolbox. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is called energy tapping, and we're going to do it in a sequence. We're going to work with your breathing patterns, we're going to work with your meridians, and I'm not going to go in a huge thing of depth with it, but it's a pattern and a routine you can take with you to do in your classes, you can do at work, and it's really good for like anxiety. I'm going to take off my glasses because it's easier to tap. Massaging with the phone. So the next part we're going to do is called energy tapping, but it's going to be an energy tapping routine. I did write it down. If any of you want to take like a screenshot of it afterwards and you want it for your own personal use, have at it. I'll set them out so you can screenshot it, and I wrote big enough so I could read and you could read it too. So, all right, so we're going to go with some just grounding techniques. This is good for anxiety, and a lot of people are like, I don't have anxiety. We all have anxiety, every one of us, whether it's getting in the car, driving in traffic, the kids forgot lunch at school, I can't find my shoes, thunder, exactly. What is that noise? Right. Yeah. It lightning too. So wow. Alright, so there's just four tapping techniques, and then we're just going to go into a few stretches. If anytime you're uncomfortable doing any of these, go back to one that you enjoyed. You don't have to do the whole sequence if you're like, that doesn't feel right for me. If you have any knee issues, when we go into a squat in just a little bit, instead of squatting down right here, if you need to put one knee down on the floor, both knees down on the floor, whatever you're comfortable with. So listen to your body. If your body's like, I don't like this, don't do it. Skip it, hang out, breathe, we'll change it to something different. Like in like 2 seconds anyway. All right, so the first tapping point we're gonna do is for your stomach meridian, and it's right underneath your cheekbones. You just go down right here. Yep. So when we do the tapping, I want you to feel it first, and then we'll tap, because I want you to see if it's tender. If it's tender, it means it needs a little bit of work. So all you're going to do is you're right here, and you're just going to feel. Is it tender? If it's not, then that's okay. You can also rub. And then you're just going to use your fingertips, and you're going to tap. It's a good focus point if you're having anything like you're panicking. Something's going on, you just need some calm clarity, just tapping. And you can use a little bit of pressure so you don't have to be like this. You actually want to like go into that point. You can feel it, you can hear it. You're going to be able to hear it. Anytime if the tapping's too much, go back to rubbing or massaging. All right, we're going to go down. You're going to find your collarbone, or your, right here. Yep. And all you do is you're going to go in the middle and you're going to go down like an inch and or a half an inch. And you're going to find like a small divot. You're going to have to feel for it. You're just going to go down. You're going to find a small divot. Everybody find it? Fantastic. So you're going to press and you're going to massage just a little bit. See if it's tender. If it's tender, that means you need a little bit of work here. See if it's there. Make sure you got that point. Good. This is just an energy center of the body and just to help you wake up. So from here, you're going to tap.
Or just tender on one side, not the other. Is that the common?
Yep. It can be one. It can be, and you can also just tap one and then tap this one a little bit later. You can always just change up the brain hemispheres and what's going on in the body a little bit there. Good. And remember, if you're like, oh, that's getting a little sore, change it up, go to the other one a little bit, rub it out. Okay, the next one we're going to go to is your sternum. So this right here. All right, so we're not going to do just one. You're going to feel it. It's going to be a little tight because your sternum is right there at the top, and you only have a really thin layer of muscle there. And it's very thin. That's just tissue right there. So we're going to do this like Tarzan style. So all you're going to do is you're going to take your knuckles and you're going like this. Totally Tarzan, right? You can always do the hum. Yeah. Hey, Bill was like, Luke, I am your father. That sounded like that. This is good for boosting your immunity. Alright, so we're going to move to the next immunity, and these are the sides, right on the sides. And it's kind of like if you have a shirt, you're going to feel like the lines are already in your shirt. It's going to be right on the side there. Right on the side. Now, if you press here, you're going to probably feel it's going to be a little tender. Just a tad in between the rib cages a little bit. Good. So massage it. See if you feel like there's a point there. Good. And then we're going to tap the sides too. We're going to tap. Using just fingertips, just tap. This is also part of building the immune system. It's great for like your metabolism, but it's not just metabolism of food. It's metabolism of your thoughts, your emotions, anything's going on that's just random all of a sudden. This is really good just to calm that down. Nice. Anybody tender there?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep, I know. It tickles. You're supposed to do this. Alright. So we're going to doing this and the sides actually mess a little bit with your brain hemispheres. So both is breaking up a pattern and it's getting focus in your body. Does anybody feel a little bit more like focused and grounded just from doing that? So we're gonna bump it up a notch. This is called knee marching. Same hand, same knee. You're making a connection with your hands to your knee and you're going right hand to right knee, left hand to right knee. Now we're going to cross it over, but the hand's going to come up from right at the head, and you're going to go right hand to left knee, left hand to right knee. So you're switching over. Good. Now this is mixing it up. You're changing up the brain, the left and the right side of the brain. Mixing it up, grounding the focus. All right, good. Shake it out. You're going to create an energy weave now, and we're going down to the floor. So this is going to help since you already opened up your back. All you're going to do is you're going to cross your hands in front, and you're going to do a figure 8 all the way down to the floor, and you're just going to stay bent over. Just hang. Now this is a point too. If you're like, my back can't take this, then go down to a knee if you need to keep that back straight. Good. So we're going to work with the meridians now. We were working with them the whole time, but we're just going to work a little more here. All right, we're going to start with your hands. If you look down at your hands, you can see the long bones on the top of your hand here, the top of the hand. We're going to work the long bones, and these are called gates, energy gates, and you're going to work in between each energy gate. So you're going to take your hand and you're going to massage down in between each finger.
Does it matter which hand you start with?
It does not.
Okay.
Nope. In between each finger. And you actually want to put some pressure there. So you want to go all the way down, stop at the top there, pinch in between the finger just a little bit, not hard, and then go to the next finger. And do this on both hands. Nice. You guys are like pro massage therapists. It's awesome. When you get done with both hands, we're going to go back through. And as you do this, you're going to go all the way through the gate, and you're going to pull off the finger. Not off completely, but you know what I mean. You're gonna go off the finger. And it's like, yeah, it would be. Martial arts artists remove fingers. Yeah, so you're gonna do a massage. You're just gonna go down that finger, pressing off. Press off the top, press off the top. Both sides. Now we're gonna go to the feet. Remember, if this is killing your back already, you can go down to a knee if you need to. So we're going to the feet. The same thing is on top of your feet. You have gates, and they go in between, all the way from the top of the foot, in between the toes. So you're going to do the same thing. You can actually do both hands on, right hand, right foot, left hand, or left foot, and you can go down between, massage into the top. You want to press and hold, and then do the same thing. Same thing, all the way down. Use your thumb, use your fingers, cross your fingers over, press through. You can change up your technique. When you do both feet already, you're going to do it one more time and you're going to go off the toe. Pinch the toe a little bit. Yeah, massage the toe. Go off the toe. What? Yeah, don't pull your toe. Good. Good. Right. Good. Go ahead and separate your feet a little bit and we're going to squat down low. Remember, if this is uncomfortable, you can always go to one side if you need to, or bring one leg down to the floor, both legs on the floor, whatever you're comfortable with. Good. All right. Left hand's going to stay down on the floor, and you're going to make sure the elbow is inside that leg. Right hand's going to reach up towards the ceiling. There we go. Looks good. Up towards the ceiling. Now, when I did this class, it was funny. So you're going to rotate the wrist at the top. You're going to rotate the wrist the other direction. So my instructor was like, you're going to flick the fingers like you're flicking off sparks. And I'm like, that is not what I was thinking. When you work with kids, you're thinking about boogers and you know it. So you're going to flick each finger. So you're going to thumb, pointer finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. You're going to flick each one. And at the top, you're going to roll your hand down, figure 8, all the way down to the floor. And then we're going to do the other side. So palm goes down, palms up. Make sure the elbow's on the inside. Left hand goes up. Reach towards the ceiling, rotate your wrist. Make sure you go the other direction. Flick your boogers. You know it. Flick them. Good. And roll that wrist back down to the floor. Good. From here, you're going to stand up, but your head's still down. Interlace your fingers behind your back and lift your hands up towards the ceiling. This is when you really figure out where you're tight at. Good. Take a few deep breaths right here. Slow, deep breaths. Yeah. Deep, deep, deep. Good. Now all you're going to do is you're going to bend your knees and you're going to sit up tall like you're sitting in a chair. Place your hands onto your lower back, right where they're at, where your hands are interlaced, and you're going to massage in a circle. You can also keep your hands together if it's easier to do this, so you can relax the shoulders. You're going to rotate those hands in a circle right where they're on the back.
On the sacrum or on the outside of the sacrum?
You're right here in your mid back.
So you're above the sacrum.
Yep, you're doing a whole big circle on the whole back.
Okay.
In traditional Chinese medicine they call it the Mingmen point or sea of vitality. So you want to go one direction and go the other direction.
Life gate. That's what
Yes.
we talked about this morning, the life gate.
Life gate. It's supposed to be the purest form of energy of your body. If you got something going on, this is really good just to center the whole body. And you can do both hands together this way, circle the other way. And if your shoulders are super tight, it's just easier to keep those hands together, press back, and do a circle with both of them. Good. You're going to stay here. Bring your hands to the front of your hips. Good. Interlace your hands in front. And all you're going to do is you're going to zip up. So you can do both hands at a time or you can do one. So you're just going to pull your energy up this way. You're zipping up what you've grounded in and you're pulling up the energy. Good. So both hands together, pull both hands up. You're going to bring them to your face like you're trying to yell at somebody. And you're going to take 3 deep breaths in your nose, out of your mouth, in your nose, out of your mouth. One more time on your own. Bring your hands to your heart. Good. 3 more deep breaths. In your nose, out of your mouth. last part of this is we're gonna lock this in. This feeling that you have, this grounded feeling. You may feel a little heavy right now, you may feel a little light, but your feet are totally glued to the floor and you feel the energy going through. So you're gonna take one hand, place that middle finger in your belly button. I want you to turn it up like you're got like a fish hook. Good. Opposite hand's gonna go middle finger to your third eye or right above your brow right there. You're just gonna hold it there and you're gonna think about connecting these two together. So you're gonna actually press that finger in your belly button up and connect it to this hand as you focus, and you're gonna lock it. You're gonna stay right there and you're gonna breathe. Go ahead and close your eyes. You're gonna breathe, lock it in, breathe, breathe, breathe. Good. Focus the energy there. Good. Inhale, exhale, shake out your hands. How's everybody feel?
On that one.
There was a lot of, locking it in and giving the energy to center straight through. It's a huge, huge difference. I do have a paper on that, so you guys can have that routine. And it doesn't have to be just like we did. That's a full routine, and you can do it within like 5 minutes. But we slowed it down so you can learn each little point. But even just the tapping, you can do that anywhere. You can do that at your car, you can do that at your desk. Super easy, Tarzan style. Hitting the sides. They always say too, like if you're going out in public, and gosh, this is one of the worst places to go. Like when you're going into Walmart. So when you go into Walmart, like you're already through the roof because you're like, this is my list, and I gotta go deal with all these people, and the fluorescent lights are ridiculous in there. And so like you go in, and you're like, oh my gosh. So you can do this zip up technique, and it's just zipping up your energy, and letting it face. Zip up your energy, let it face, and you're like, I'm here to get this. Here's my energy. I'm not worried about anybody else in my space. We're good. So, and you can just visualize it. You don't even have to do this. You can be like, zip it up, zip it up. Good to go. Just zip it. Walk it out.
All right. I did want to do one last breath work technique with you today
Before we finish up. So we're just all going to lay on the floor. You can sit or lay completely up to you. Like, thanks for the nap. Thanks. I want you to lay down on the floor, and I just want you to breathe. You're just going to breathe. Your normal breathing style technique. So before we even get started, we're going to make sure if you're feeling any tension anywhere in your body, you're going to see if you can let that relax. And what I like to do is I want you to take a deep breath in and tighten all your muscles in your whole body. Just tighten everything. Your feet's going to come off the floor. You're squeezing your hands, squeezing everything. Breathe, breathe, go, and relax. Drop it. Good. We're going to focus on the body, just letting it melt into the ground. Just let it melt. Breathe on your own. Please don't stop. Just go ahead and tell you to breathe. Good. Do that as many times as you need to until you feel every muscle group relax. Yep. Just tighten it up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Drop it. Let it sink into the earth. Let it be. So this next breathing technique we're going to do is great if you have anything going on. You can do this sitting up. You can do this at your desk. You can do this anywhere. You can teach this to your kids. This is the easiest breathing technique I've ever seen for anything going on with anxiety, depression, speeding heart rate, anything that you need to cool down really fast. So, super easy. Here we go. We're going to take a deep breath in together, normal deep breath. When you get to the top, hold that breath for a count of 2. 1, 2, let it go. Breathe it out. After you breathe it out, hold. Do not breathe in for a count of 1, 2, breathe in. After you breathe in, hold it for the count of 1, 2, breathe out. You're going to repeat this pattern. It's always when you breathe in, count of 2, always when you breathe out, the count of 2. This one's super easy. It gives you something to focus on, and your breathing pattern is going to change. Good. Breathe in. It's just a 1, 2. You don't even have to be 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. It's just your count of 2, whatever that count is. Breathe it out and let it go. And while you're listening to me, it's really great too if you're ever standing talking to somebody, see what their breathing pattern is. You know, if they're a lower belly breather, then you know they're kinesthetic. Mid belly breather, they could be auditory. So it's really cool just to see that breathing pattern and what people have to. But we're not going to go into that, that's too much. Good. So one more time, take a deep breath in. On that exhale, maybe think about locking in that energy one more time. Finger in the belly button, finger on that third eye. Lock in that energy. Feel that how you feel grounded right now. All the energy centers in the body have been released. You opened up the gates in the hands. You opened up your gates in your feet. All meridians start or end usually on the hands and feet, and you cleared those pathways today. So your energy is clear. You're grounded. Lock that in. Do one more breathing series. And when you're ready, just slowly go up off the floor to the top. Sit the way you want to sit.
I've already got there.
So you guys can add this in your classes. It's super, super effective. If you got something going on and you're like, hey, dude, let's get these kicks a little higher, or something's going on with their hamstrings, just go ahead and roll it out and do it afterwards too, when the muscles are already like warmed up really good.
Is there a certain age that shouldn't be doing this, kid-wise?
Like rolling?
Yeah,
No.
this kind of stuff.
No. I'd be careful with the 3-year-olds because they're just going to pick it up and throw it at you.
Yeah.
But like, other than that, no. Not rolling. I would be careful a little bit if you're going to have them laying down and rolling, because the muscles haven't really fully developed in any of the kids until, you know, between the age 14 to 18 anyway, depending on how they are mature-wise. But it's not going to hurt for them to roll for just a second and then take it away. Just be a little careful, because you also don't want them to be like playing with it and pushing it in, and then the parents like, why's Johnny got 8 bruises on the back of his leg?
Yeah.
Listening?
I know, how do you use Johnny? You've been saying it all day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
no.
same thing with the back and
Yeah.
on the wall?
Yeah.
Just limit the amount of time?
Yeah, just limit the amount of time. And you'll know the age group. You got a bunch of kids in there, and you know they're just gonna pick it up and throw it at each other. You know the ones who are serious and things like that too. So, or the ones who know the benefit of what they're gonna do, and then the ones who are like, I don't want to do that. Yeah. We all have those students.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this,
Yep.
to me, this has been a great day overall. It's been a real good energy day.
Yeah.
We started off with breathing practices, and you guys went right into the energy work, meridians and stuff. So it's melded together good today, as yesterday did too, with the forms and things like that, and the technique. So in my mind, this has been a successful seminar. I hope you guys all feel the same about it, and we look forward to maybe trying to do this again, and not being the one and only time, and keep things moving forward as a group, as an association. So, anything else? Good.
Thank you both.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys.